Americans generate 300 million tons of trash every year, which we deposit in nearly 1,300 landfills. That's a ton of trash for just about every person in the country. We also create 5 million tons of biosolids from 16,000 wastewater treatment plants, and 10 million dairy cows produce a lot of waste. And finally, American agriculture produces an enormous amount of byproducts. All of these decomposing wastes produce methane, and climate scientists say that methane is the most damaging greenhouse gas there is, 86 times more potent than CO2 over 20 years. The theme of this year's event is Meeting the Methane Challenge, the title of Energy Vision's recent report that highlights a clear path to achieving the global methane pledge, cutting methane emissions 30% by 2030. Among the key findings of the report is that we have an immediate opportunity and a need to build out nearly 5,000 new anaerobic digester projects, including 700 to process urban and industrial food waste. Doing so can get us almost halfway to our 2030 goal. Before we recognize our 2024 awardees and the tremendous work they are doing in alignment with meeting the methane challenge, we'd like to take a moment to highlight progress made by 2 previous winners for their efforts to tackle urban food waste. On the south side of Chicago, the Green Era campus exemplifies the role anaerobic digestion can play to improve environmental, public health, and economic outcomes in a historically disadvantaged community. Phase 1 of the Green Era campus project came online in 2024 with a current capacity to handle 85,000 tons of food waste per year and plans underway to double its capacity. This urban food waste is transformed into carbon-negative renewable natural gas that is delivered to customers through the gas grid. The project also produces large quantities of high-quality nutrients that are used by the Urban Growers Collective at its adjacent urban farm to grow nutritious food as part of a broader effort to expand local food production and economic development opportunities across Chicago's South Side. Due to the innovative nature of the project and its core focus on environmental justice, the Green Era project has garnered major attention from leaders in government and industry. We are thrilled to see this project up and running successfully in Chicago. The Green Era project represents a model for other urban centers to explore and pursue. Here in New York, Verity and American Organic Energy are making great strides to offer a regional solution for the growing food waste challenge on Long Island and the New York City metro region. The innovative American Organic Energy facility will play a key role in enabling organic waste recycling by transforming 200,000 tons per year of material into renewable natural gas and nutrient-rich fertilizer at a commercial scale. Once operational, the AOE facility will produce RNG that will get injected into the grid and sold to Fortis BC to help decarbonize its overall gas supply. It is also being developed with an eye toward future expansion opportunities in the greater New York City region. The project, now under construction, illustrates the emerging opportunity to develop economically and environmentally attractive projects across the region and beyond. Together with one of this year's awardees, critical urban anaerobic digester infrastructure is coming soon to New York City.
This project is our largest, it is our flagship, and it's the benefit of being able to divert food waste and create clean energy, but it's also the fact that it's connecting with the Elizabethtown system and it's going to be a direct benefit to our customers. It's just a very exciting project for the environmental benefits it's going to provide.
Projects like this are extraordinarily important. The repurposing of food waste is one of the most laudable goals, and this is one of the paramount things that we can do to get rid of food waste and turn it into renewable natural gas.
So this is a great project, not only from a renewable energy perspective, but from an economic development perspective as well. Being able to invest dollars and resources here is critically important for the state as a whole.
Not only am I Linden's first black mayor, I'm Linden's first green mayor. And I think if we're going to save the planet, we're going to have to engage in more programs and projects such as this that reduce the carbon footprint.
Because of this project, Elizabethtown customers get to play a role in reducing CO2 emissions. They are going to use the product of this facility, renewable natural gas, reducing over 120,000 metric tons of CO2 emissions.
I think it's a really holistic solution to what do we do with our organic waste. Here's a process that will naturally digest it through an organic means and give us the organic byproduct that you can use in a number of different applications as well. There's really no waste in the process.
The amount of energy we're able to produce, the amount of waste we're able to divert, and the amount of emissions that we're able to eliminate through this project are truly amazing, and it's really exciting to be part of.
Leading the way to a clean energy future is exactly just that, advancing, promoting, and developing clean energy projects, specifically in the RNG, fuel cells, and solar development projects.
We're going to keep investing in renewable natural gas across feedstocks, and we'll also start to look at some other decarbonization technologies, including green hydrogen, green methane. Look, we're just getting started.
One man's trash is another man's treasure, and today I think nothing is more fitting. I don't think people realize how remarkable this project is. This project is going to set the tone of what's going to happen in the world. More work, more fuel, less emissions. It just works for everybody. Nobody loses.
Prior to LoCI, the traditional way of tuning a well field is through manual tuning. With instituting our technology across the well field, constantly retuning that well field 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, has directly impacted the emissions through methane capture.
It's important to us to capture as much gas as we can from an environmental perspective and from a financial perspective, which makes it really nice and functional for an operations team. As weather conditions may change, we've reduced our downtime. Our reaction time is much faster, and the efficiencies that we pick up from that are tremendous. The first project between LoCI Controls and the Landfill Group was the Ham Landfill in Lawrence, Kansas. And over the course of 4 years, the LoCI control systems increased methane capture at the site by over 614,000 MMBTUs, a 32% upswing from the baseline based on the ACR methodology.
We can make those changes in real time. The metering and valves out in that well field are changing based on the conditions that are present. So definitely from an environmental aspect, we're removing large amounts of methane from the atmosphere above and beyond what we could normally do.
The foundation that we have set, it's a tremendous opportunity, I think, for both organizations to continue to get better. They're an excellent example of a customer that we can collaborate with. We can bounce ideas off of them.
If we focus on the right things, like all of the results will come, and really knowing that we're in this together.
Finally, tonight, we recognize Energy Vision's founder, Joanna Underwood, for a lifetime of environmental leadership. As many of you know, for nearly 50 years, she's been a pioneer in the environmental movement by crafting a rigorous systems approach to first understanding the root of many environmental and public health challenges, and then exploring technology and policy solutions. It's her solutions-oriented approach and optimism that have drawn so many of us into her orbit. For more than 30 years, Joanna led cutting-edge environmental research at Inform, arguably the first environmental group to focus on the role of industry and the private sector in deploying solutions essential for a green economy. Beginning in the 1980s, Joanna led groundbreaking work on the exploration of alternative energy and fuels and the major environmental, economic, and geopolitical benefits of moving away from petroleum in the transportation sector. Her work on toxic chemicals ultimately resulted in the creation of the Pollution Prevention Act of 1990. She also served on the boards of the Rocky Mountain Institute and NYSERDA, as well as countless advisory boards. At Energy Vision, which Joanna launched in 2007, she was among the first in North America to recognize the benefits of a new fuel, quite unknown when Energy Vision began studying its potential, called renewable natural gas. Early research, outreach, and education on this strategy fostered enthusiasm across the country. There are now more than 300 projects transforming our organic wastes from a climate liability into a clean fuel solution. Few people know more what Joanna's contributions have meant to real, on-the-ground environmental progress than her longtime colleagues. She's worked tirelessly to advance countless strategies, moving them from the theoretical into the commercial arena that are critical for meeting the enormous challenge of climate change. Joanna has been an enthusiastic and tireless leader, finding and promoting the way our country can build a sustainable energy economy. For all of these reasons and more, we are thrilled to honor and recognize her with this Lifetime Leadership Award. But don't just take our word for it.
Hello, I'm Andrew Littlefair, President and CEO of Clean Energy. Good evening. Hello, Joanna. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Thank you for charting the course over these years for environmental leadership. You know, it was almost 30 years ago that I first worked with you, Joanna. The concept was, let's figure out a way to do a study and show the benefits of natural gas in a trash truck. The thinking was that this is dramatically cleaner at the tailpipe and made for a better environment. And really today, the rest is history. 60% of all the trash trucks sold in America are natural gas, and it's thanks to you. In 2007, Joanna had another idea. Let's start Energy Vision and let's talk about renewable natural gas. Andrew, could your company figure out a way to take landfill gas and use it in the same way that you did with natural gas? And we did. Thank you for all you've done, Joanna. Thank you, Energy Vision, as you chart our course in a cleaner environment for everyone.
Good evening. I'm Bob Cachell, and I'm delighted to have an opportunity. Unfortunately, I can't be with you tonight, but I wanted to truly recognize Joanna for her leadership in the environmental space for many, many years. I think I've known her almost from the beginning, and she's been a tireless leader in fighting for things that would be helpful to the improvement of our environment. So I think it's particularly appropriate that she's getting this recognition tonight for all that she's achieved. I know she's going to continue working hard, but Joanna, it's been a pleasure for me to know you and to work with you. And I just wanted to offer my congratulations to you on this special evening.
Greetings, everyone at Energy Vision. I wish I could be with you in person for this extraordinary event. What an amazing organization. I have so enjoyed getting to know Joanna Underwood and Energy Vision and the work that you do. It's so important, and you guys have been at the cutting edge, at the vanguard for a long time. I wish I was there in person. Amazing what I've been learning, what you've been doing. It's so practical and common sense and doable, and people are always looking for solutions. They feel overwhelmed. What do we do? What do we do? And here you go. You guys are providing some answers and some actionable technologies and ways of thinking about, you know, waste and recycling and composting and organic. So I'm really glad that you're doing the work that you're doing. I understand that Joanna and I are auctioning off a meal together in New York to the highest bidder to raise money at some point in 2025. Very excited to participate in that. But climate change also is a pandemic. Humanity is, well, we're off track. These problems are big. They're enormous. They affect every single person on the planet in some way, shape, or form. And as long as we continue to have the same relationship to planet Earth as we've had over the last several hundred years, where planet Earth is like a giant ATM of materials that we suck out, process, consume, buy, and spit out the garbage and throw it back onto planet Earth, as long as we're thinking of our mother in that way, we're not going to make real progress. Climate change is a pandemic. At its root is a disease, an imbalance. It's a cancer. We can't keep fighting that cancer with Band-Aids, but we all have to do what we can. You guys have been at it for a long time. I really admire what you do, and hope too that you'll keep in the back of your mind about the sacredness of our planet. So thank you for your great work. Hope to be with you, sitting with you one of these days in the future.